Ross, sauce it up.
Suicide is not gonna hold me down. Switch your sides, no, you are not my love. In my ride, I put the windows down. Feel alive, I'm chasing for the crown. Suicide is not gonna hold me down. Switch your sides, no, you are not my love. In my ride, I put the windows down. Feel alive, I'm chasing for the crown. Shawty came and left me for foreign. Left me for somebody that was snoring. Yeah, I've been wide awake, I've been scoring. Now you get a taste, yeah, you know it. Rolling dice, the odds are off my side. Losing vibes, cause you are not my wife. Feeling high, that's how I stay alive. Trying to fly, but both my wings are tied. I just care about you, I'm not simping. While we bickering about little lame things, I've been crazy about you, I ain't kidding. Man, why won't it come true, I've been praying. Suicide is not gonna hold me down. Switch your sides, no, you are not my love. In my ride, I put the windows down. Feel alive, I'm chasing for the crown. Suicide is not gonna hold me down. Switch your sides, no, you are not my love. In my ride, I put the windows down. Feel alive, I'm chasing for the crown.
Sun is out here overseas. Dark emotions ever torn so deep. Falling down through the clouds on. Feeling you. Stay away from me. You keep haunting me.
buenas y todo siempre let me take the control, yeah. Tu buenas y todo siempre let me take the control, yeah. Tu buenas y todo siempre let me take the control, yeah. Tu buenas y todo siempre let me take the control, yeah. Te reto a que me mires in your eyes, I see no lies. The party is in the higher, your body is in the fire, baby. I wanna take the control, let me dance like love. I have the melody in my bones, melody goes inside me, and I don't wanna wait for you, no, no. I just wanna turn the party. I have the melody in my bones, melody goes inside me, and I don't wanna wait for you, no, no. I just wanna turn the party up, 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 goes inside me, up, up. Melody goes inside me, up, 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 goes inside me, up, up. Melody goes inside me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first Tiger Talk presented by HyperX. Today, I am here with DirtyMobs, aka Michael, and if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself, you may do so now.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Ben. I'm DirtyMobs. I'm a content creator on Twitch and YouTube primarily. In relation to Auburn, I went to the Auburn MBA program, Masters in Business Administration, from 2018 to 2020. And ever since, they were nice enough to let me do to test run my streaming career as an internship, and that went pretty well. And now that's what I do full time. So I'm a content creator for the game League of Legends, where I primarily play Alawi top and create educational content for the most part, answer questions, let people know what's good, what's bad, and how to play, and field questions from people in the community. And I guess mainly what I do is build a community. I have a place where I stream daily, and people get to come and interact.
Nice. Yeah, so if you ever want to go check out his stream, we have it down below, below his webcam. Webcam. Okay, so we're gonna jump now straight into the Q&A with our first question. This one comes from Cat Topic, and it is: what motivated you to start streaming initially?
Well, growing up, I guess, I'd watch. I'm kind of old, so I'd watch MLG with World of Warcraft, like Wrath of the Lich King.
Okay, well, no, I remember MLG too, and I don't think I'm that old.
See, this is I don't know, I guess it was 2008 or 2009 or something.
Yeah.
And it was really scuffed, and it was just cool to watch them compete. And then Rekful started streaming WoW 3v3s, and he was the god of WoW, so everyone watched him, and I was like, wow, this is a thing people can do. So that was kind of cool. And then it was just was I good enough to that people would want to watch? And if you get to a really high caliber, you might as well try to monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because why not? And then maybe you can do it as a career if it takes off. If not, it's a fun hobby. But basically, I like to play video games, and it'd be cool if I could do it all the time. So why not?
Yeah, no, that's always always a fun time. You can do what you love.
Yeah.
because again, like you said, if it just falls short, I mean, it's still a good hobby to have. So you have some broadcasting experience, I guess, in the back end there. Okay, we're gonna move
Yeah,
on next to our next question. This one comes from Rice Treat. What has helped you the most with building connections with other streamers, if you have any?
dude. Yeah, like like an introvert,
Hmm.
and obviously a lot of people in gaming are introverts. I am
Yeah.
the worst at networking, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, I
Like,
definitely am too.
yeah, it's hard, and it's no different in Twitch. It helps. The probably the best thing is like rating other people,
Mm.
um, and kind of like interacting with people. Dude, Ben. Okay, Ben. What like games do you play? Do you play League?
I do play League, actually,
Okay,
and I play some
dude.
Overwatch, but I played Overwatch for the school.
Okay, so you're primarily Overwatch. I don't know what the
Yeah.
Overwatch community is like. The League, like high elo, like community is terrible. It's
Yeah,
like
the
drama
Overwatch is very
filled.
similar.
Yeah, ego filled.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult.
Hmm.
But try to find like it seems like if you can find like-minded people. Um, so for me, I kind of joined like Team PMA, positive mental attitude type people, people who had like banter within games. That'd be a good way to connect with them. You know, again,
Hmm.
invite them to Discord or in houses or whatever. It turned there's like a psychology thing to when you play with people, even if you play against them, you typically like them more than if you never played a game at all. Because there's like an element of trust when you play a game.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree with
so
that.
s- yeah, so people just inherently will like typically like other people if they play games with them. Just kind of depends on the egos and involved, but
Hmm.
that helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah. The Overwatch is definitely toxic too because also had XQC, so yeah,
Yeah,
he kind of came from Overwatch. So
and
it,
y'all have voice comms in that, right?
in Overwatch, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't.
yeah,
We don't have that in League.
yeah. You have to like opt into it for League, right? Like you have to
No,
do voice.
well, yeah. If you're like in a party with someone,
Hmm.
then you can join voice comms, but you can't just join with like random people you get
Oh,
in your
yeah,
game.
yeah. That's strange.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all
Which
right.
I think that actually hurts your ability to network.
For League, like specifically,
Yeah,
I guess.
because yeah, if you talk to people, I feel like you make a closer bond than if
Hmm.
you just type and ping and stuff like that.
Yeah, it feels. I guess from my point of view, it feels like less. I don't know, self-promoting. If you just like casually mention your stream while you're talking, you're just like, oh, hey, I'm streaming. And but if you like type it in chat, it's like concrete
Yeah.
there. I don't know. It is. I guess comes out the wrong way sometimes, but yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Moving on to our next question. This one also comes from Cat Topic. Uh, for those who are interested in streaming, what are some tips for them? And I know we kind of just went over that somewhat, but if you had anything else you wanted to like add, like in general tips.
Yeah. We could talk about this one we could cover this one for an hour.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah. The I think the worst thing I see is people who just turn on a stream with like no plan of action. They have no like, how do I get new people to come to my stream? They're just like, okay, I'll stream for like 3 hours a night on Twitch. Which Twitch is like the worst platform in the world to get new like engagement or new consumers to like watch your stuff
Hmm.
because there's no algorithm.
Oh, is it not
Um,
actually?
I mean, they're like trying to build one now. You kind of see with like the promoted thing,
Okay.
but it's a millennium behind like YouTube or even Facebook.
Mm.
Um, so and it's like how do you use Twitch typically? You log on Twitch,
I log
right?
on Twitch, right, and then I
Yeah,
just like if I already have some followed channels, I'll just be like, all right, hey, look at this guy. So I guess
yeah,
you're right. I don't like go and like scout for like any new
yeah. And
ones.
if you go to like the browse section, like all right, maybe I'm really adventurous. I'll browse League of Legends.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna scroll down to like the very very bottom, and then it's like a roulette. There's like a million people. It's like how do you? No one's ever gonna find you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yes. I think
I
they've.
would
Oh, sorry. You can go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I think they've done somewhat of a better job with that because I think they put like lower viewers like up top sometimes to like
Mhm.
force like the high viewers to be next to some like people with like viewers or whatever. So I think they've
Yeah,
somewhat done something with that.
they're working on it,
Yeah, they're working on
but
it.
still not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend like Try first off, you need to think about like what you're trying to accomplish, or like what's your niche. For me, it was all right. I'm gonna be the figurehead for a character in League of Legends.
Malawi.
Yeah, Lowy. Yeah, right. And what I did was actually, so I used to be a professional Heroes of North player. That's how I like dipped my feet into like the pro scenes. Um, and then when I moved to League, it was like, okay, I could try to become a pro player, which the infrastructure is crap for. At the time, there wasn't an academy league. It was kind of clicky how to
Was
get
that long
into
ago?
like the, huh?
That long ago?
It was season 5.
Oh, nice.
So it was slightly before academy leagues are coming up, but even then, a lot of the academy league is like retired pros. It's still terrible at like generating new people. So it's like, okay, I could try really hard to get really good at like 5 to 10 champions in a role, and then try really hard to compete with other people in that role to maybe get onto a league and academy where I'd have to go out to like Los Angeles, and it's a very convoluted. There's like really less chance of success. Or I could I looked at the landscape and I went, okay, what champions like don't have a figurehead? You think of for Trinamir, there's like Fogged for the Win. For Kane, there's Karasamai. There's like all these different people. Well, I found one that worked for me that I feel like I clicked with, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be the figurehead for this. I'm gonna get really good. That's step number 1 is like get credentials. Step number 2 is generate like content that people would want. So for me, it was guides, it was YouTube videos with really good commentary, and this started primarily on YouTube and Reddit. And this focused, and then in the guides, I'd be like, "Oh, watch my stream. Oh, I'd mention it. Oh, check my YouTube channel." Kind of get them on everything, and you just kind of build up from there. People just naturally now, if you go to allow subreddit, most of the people, whenever someone asks, like, "Oh, who do I watch?" It's like just watch DirtyMobs. So it's about having a plan and having a niche and filling that niche. The one thing I have no idea how to do is if you want to be a streamer and be like an entertainer, like I have no idea.
Yeah, that seems tough. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah,
Honestly.
like if you're really funny, you could do like comedy stuff. I don't know how to get that to like pick off. I only know from my point of view, which is like get really good at something and then go
Yeah,
like
yours
educational.
yours is like a competitive educational like viewpoint. If anyone wants to like get really good at Alawi, they can like, hey, Dirty Mobs, just go to him.
Yeah,
But then like,
and there are different routes, right?
mhm.
I just don't know how to do this.
Yeah, no, definitely. I also think live streaming is also a little more difficult to pull off the comedic like aura, I guess, because like with like YouTube videos and such, you can like edit them however much you want, and then but with like
For
Twitch,
sure.
you're live streaming that. You can't really make a mistake.
Yeah, and or you could go like the like Greek God X like leech route. And
Yeah.
if you look at like it's interesting, right? Because if you look at how he did it, people don't like leeches. But if you bring the streamer easy content, well then the streamer likes having you around.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
the McConnell to Asmongold. Yeah.
yeah, like a symbiotic relationship. It's like you feed them food
Exactly.
and yeah, just get you
And
some promotion in the process.
that works. But again, that's you have to be like really funny, and I don't know. I don't know how to do
Yeah,
that.
that sounds really tough.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, moving on from that question, we have one coming up from. Told me how to say this before the stream, so I'm gonna try not to butcher it. Joe Kage. I hope I said that right. He's gonna be mad if I didn't. He asks, "What are some of the struggles you had to endure to become successful at streaming?"
uh, I think the NA culture kind of almost it's getting better, but it's always like for the last like 20 years, I think it's still like looked down upon like video games in general, right? It's getting better, but I would say there are a couple of things. One was like kind of having to struggle with like expectations of family because they were like, oh, like they don't understand it. And I don't blame them for not understanding. It's all really new. And
Yeah, it's all Like even like I think like even 10 years ago, didn't even know what like a live stream was. To be fair, I was 11 years old, but also
right, it's new, and when you're like 50 years old. I mean, it's tough because you don't. It's just hard to comprehend technology. Um, so that was definitely one. Another one would be uh, creating a plan of action. That's like really hard to do when you're just playing video games all day because you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about like, oh, how do I get better? How do I improve? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll say,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
that.
You're gonna say you have to like think of the metagame outside of the metagame. The metagame for
Yeah.
streaming. You gotta run two things in your head at once.
One more thing is, we were talking about like Photoshop earlier, right?
Mhm.
It's having the skill set to like you almost to like do your own. It's really hard to get someone else to come in to help you, because like let's say you want to do like a YouTube thing, and you want an editor to come in.
Mhm.
Well, typically like it's like the revenue split is you typically do some sort of revenue split, and that's how you pay for it. But even then, if you don't have something already built up, like there's no revenue. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to have
It's
someone
hard to sell
really like
something.
bought in. Yeah. So it helps. I've had to learn this on the fly, but if you can learn, like let's say you're like I don't know, let's say you're like freshman or sophomore, like start working on like graphic design stuff or start making thumbnails or start like trying to do your own stuff with like Photoshop or Premiere Pro, do your own some editing, just dabble your feet in. Those skill sets are like so valuable, and they're not like to do really rudimentary stuff. It's not that hard to figure out. Like I figured out thumbnails, really basic editing techniques, but they're so useful. You almost have to have like a degree in like graphic design to like really make it on the internet.
Yeah.
It's so useful. Yeah.
You have to pick up a skill set you never really imagined you were gonna need to be to get in there.
Yeah.
All right. So for our next question, this one comes from I think that says Calzone0280. I think believe that's his Discord tag. Interesting name. He asks, "What appeals to you about top lane more than the other lanes
Um
in regards to League of Legends?"
yeah. Top lane is like an island. So if we go back to where like I'm an introvert, I'm okay to just be on an island. Just leave me alone. Like I don't want my jungler's help. All right. I don't want anyone to be in my lane. I know how to like execute my strategies 1v1, 1v2. Just leave me alone. I'll handle it.
Yeah,
Go.
junglers just add too much variety.
Yeah, they just let's say the jungler comes up and they like misplay, and then it just throws the whole lane. And now it's like, well, whereas I could have handled it pretty well and generated like a pretty good lead, now I'm at a big deficit, and it might not even be able to come back. I like that. Uh, although I have dabbled in support lately, which is what I used to main a long time ago. So
Really?
been working on that.
Did you have any like
But
mains you played on support, or just like kind of whatever?
right now it's mainly Nautilus, like Initiator, Nautilus, Rel. I'm working. I can play Lulu really well. I'm working on like my enchanter skills. I just end up inting because I'm a tank skull, and
Yeah, I'm the
I just want to
opposite.
go in.
Yeah, I play the enchanters, and then like when it comes to tanks, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stand back here, and then everyone dies because I didn't tank. And it's like, well,
Okay.
oops. Yeah. So
Say I
I'm the
just
opposite.
end on enchanter.
Yeah. No, I'm really good about sitting back, but no, you ask me to try to tank sometimes, be like, oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna run back.
Yeah, as far as like league strategy, there is like an element to initiators typically have an advantage
Mm-hmm.
because if you see the opportunity and you jump at it and take it really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
you can like just hard carry the fight because you saw like let's say you like your Rel where you have like a big AoE pull in and a knock up. You just flash go real quick and you get like 3 of their carries. And now you like your team like is like, oh, we can go. Like let's go. I
Yeah.
think there's typically like an advantage there.
Yeah, there's confidence definitely plays a part in that too. It's like just
Dude,
don't if you hesitate even
oh.
like a second, you
Yeah,
might
dude,
miss an opportunity.
lately I've had to deal with is like people who like start pinging me is it like really throws off my confidence. And
Okay.
you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
If you like lose your confidence as an initiator and you don't know what to do, you're just ruined.
Yeah, it's better to like
It's
stick to
yeah.
like a bad plan than it is to like half wobbly, like sort of good,
Yeah,
kind of bad, because then you
it
don't know what's
is. At
happening.
least commit.
Hmm. All right. So moving on to our next question. This one comes from Flippy. I hope I said that right. I actually don't know. Oh, I think it's Flippy actually. I always forget that H is silent. Um, he asks, "Do you think only streaming one game limits channel growth on Twitch?" So, for example, you primarily stream League of Legends. I know you said earlier you had like a sub Sunday you like to do, where I assume you probably play different games, but you can go ahead and talk more about that.
Yes, it does limit, um, but it's hard to like unless you're literally like a variety streamer. Let's say you like for me it was like it's like okay, so I built up a league community, and then there's like reasonable expectations from most of my community that when they come here they want to see league. Well, it does get hard to do other things. You can like power through it. The and if you're really entertaining, it helps, right? So like
Mm.
the most prevalent examples, like Tyler One getting banned from league. That was the best thing that happened in his career because
Yeah.
he was an insane variety streamer and people loved him. Um, the it's a dual edged sword, I guess, because it's also really really hard to build like a variety streaming uh, content provide from nothing.
hmm
Maybe if you really utilize YouTube well and you are a really really funny and entertaining individual, um, you could do it. But if you're trying to be like the best, it's really difficult to spend the amount of time to get really good at something and then pivot to something else, like when the meta changes or something like
hmm
that.
Yeah. I definitely get that part about like when you first starting out because again I know you talked about like niches earlier and finding your niche is definitely an easier way to get started streaming, but like if you're constantly switching your game that you play, you're constantly, I guess if you're trying to make your niche variety streaming, I guess it seems like it'd be more difficult at first than like you said if you're already more well established and entertaining. Because I know there's a streamer called Lyric. Yeah, he's definitely a
Hmm.
variety streamer. And he is constantly bouncing back, but he already had like an audience like set up beforehand because he came from the DayZ niche. So
Yeah, I don't. Has he streamed for a long, long time?
I think it's been a long, long time because he started with
Yeah,
DayZ
because
Mod.
if you were one of those like streamers that got in like when streaming was relatively new, back then it just wasn't that hard to like get really
Yeah, you're actually right
like
about
a
that.
following. So there
Yeah,
just weren't that many streamers.
yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, now I think there's like the last stats I looked up was like there's 8 million like monthly active like streamers.
Oh God,
Uh, It's just insane. Yeah, it's insane.
that's just Twitch,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's just Twitch too. Yeah. There was one thing I wanted to add. The I do think there's a valid strategy in like streaming small games and like being a variety streamer and like okay, I'm gonna play like a lot of N64 games or a lot of GameCube or PlayStation games.
Mm,
I'm gonna cycle through because then people will actually follow like that game. Like I do this like
mm,
Harvest Moon 64 and Pikmin. I follow them, and if someone's streaming it, I'll actually go like occasionally watch, even though there's like there may be 5 viewers or something.
mm.
But you could actually build up a like community doing that if people are really interested in like that console and you like play on nostalgia a little bit. So that's like a valid
Yeah,
strategy, I think.
yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna address a question in chat here for just a second. The Amber asked, "How do we ask questions?" We had some questions submitted before the like a couple days before we started streaming today. But however, I'm gonna put Hank on the spot here. Hank, if you have any questions, we had time at the end of the stream after we go through these pre-selected ones. If Michael, if you're okay with it, we could stick around for a few minutes and ask some chat questions.
I think
Let's
that'd be
see.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys want to start asking questions in chat now, and then Hank, if you want to go through and pick some, we can definitely do that and make it work. Okay. Moving on to the next question. This one's also from Flippy. Um, if you could change your main game to something else, what would it be and why?
Uh, it would absolutely be Counter Strike Go.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
did you ever play like
No,
any?
I have. I'm really
Dude,
bad.
I had a period before I got into MOBAs where I played Counter Strike Source, which is the game before Global Offensive, and I love the scrim. There's like a community where you can like get scrims together, and you go into like maybe open tournaments a lot, and
Mm,
that was such an enjoyable thing. and I'm sure Global Offensive has that. So that would be a ton of. I'm assuming we mean like I'd keep my skill level probably, right, from like league.
Probably.
Yeah,
But
if I could just like transfer it.
yeah, if you it's not transfer all that game knowledge from one game to another.
Yeah, because I've always like loved like the Counter Strike tournaments. Also, first person shooters, like the skill set is so easy to transfer. You know, just like Shroud or Ninja, they just like pick up a new like FPS and they're like instantly like amazing.
Oh yeah,
Because
no, you're right. You tried like literally aimbots or in like every game, you're just so good at it.
yeah, as long as you can like shoot really well, and then you just figure out the little things that like are different between each game, it's really transferable.
Hmm.
I think that's incredibly like beneficial to them. It doesn't work as well in MOBAs.
Yeah, there's a lot of like item knowledge and like lanes and map knowledge that, and also all the different champions and like every single different mode.
Yeah,
You have to learn
it
all
just
of
takes too
them.
much time.
Yeah, that would, yeah, be a big time investment to like go from like League to Dota. Because I don't think you can like, I think you can get your items delivered to you in Dota or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next question here. This one comes from Spawns. How long would you like to be a streamer? It's like
I mean,
future goals.
uh, depends on the growth. The one thing I battle with is like I do have a relatively high level of education. So like if you think about like opportunity costs,
Hmm.
I could demand like a relatively good salary in like a corporation. So it's like okay, then I have to juggle like how much do I like enjoy my life. Uh, there is upside to like being a small business owner, and there's just it's like having a sales job basically.
Hmm.
The more time I put into it, and the more work I put into it, the more like upside there is. Whereas a career might have more like structured, like 5% raise if you do this, or kind of that. So I mean, as long as people want to watch and I have relatively good growth and I'm enjoying my life, um, for the foreseeable future, I'd happily be one. But you never know where life takes you. So
Yeah, especially COVID this past year, just like whoop, 360.
yeah, it
Growth
was
wise.
really convenient for me to have this
Yeah.
during this.
I'm actually here. I'm gonna ask you a question that I had myself. I'm gonna skip the queue
Mhm.
for a second. Uh, did you like see any growth or like any positive gains like during your streaming during COVID?
Um, I did. I think yeah, a little bit, maybe 10 to 20%. Um, because people who maybe couldn't watch at work would now be watching at work, or people who are in class, so, like they got the Zoom call on the main monitor or something. Then I'm on the
Yeah,
second monitor, and they're actually
I
like
got monitor
muted
right there.
that. Yeah,
One right, you can't see it, but it's right there.
exactly.
I gotta pull it up.
Just mute the professor and watch a Twitch stream or something.
Yeah, I don't do that for legal reasons. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Going on to our next question. This one comes from Cat Topic. She asked one earlier. What are some memorable moments you have had when streaming? Just like overall.
Yeah. I guess the most nostalgic thing was probably it actually isn't a recent streaming thing, but it was like back when I played Heroes of New Earth professionally, and just being in like tournaments and having those streamed or casted.
Hmm.
Those are the most fun things. As far as like streaming daily goes as a content creator, it's a bit of a grind, and you're always maybe I'll think about today's stream for like an hour or two after I'm done. But after that, it's like, okay, I got to make a YouTube video. I need to start thinking about like what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Sub Sunday's coming up. Maybe think about that. And you're constantly like looking forward. So like they kind of just like blend together for the most part. So you don't really remember too many of them. It's just you're just constantly like thinking ahead.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that. Um. Okay. Moving on to our next question. This one comes from JTH0078. What was the transition from a student to a streamer like?
It felt great.
Did it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, being so like my MBA program was full-time student, and I had to do a graduate assistantship, which I'd worked for about 20 hours a week,
Mm.
and then I would stream like 3 to 4 hours a night, and then I'd still, if I could, put up YouTube videos like daily. That was always falling behind at the time. Um, and in the graduate program, you have a lot of like group projects, so it's just a lot going on. Um, so once all that stress was off, um, it was it felt great. But the one thing is, if I didn't like have a I did an internship and I had to like create like basically a business plan
Mm.
for streaming. Um, and that gave me a lot of structure on how, and think about, I had a lot of time to think about, okay, how do you structure your life, and how do you structure to be consistent daily, to work for like 10 hours a day. Um, and I think if you're going from nothing, like let's say your life is like kind of chaotic, maybe you're not doing great in school, or maybe you're out of school by now, or no, you're not working. I find it's really hard to go from a very chaotic like world and create like a structured, like, okay, these are the things I need to do to be successful. Um, so if you ever think like, oh, I want to be a streamer or content creator or something, do really good in school and do really well in like other aspects of your life. Because if you have a very organized and structured life, from those things that are already there that you need to be structured in anyways,
Mhm.
then you can transition that. You'll just, I don't know, your brain will just work better when it comes to like creating a business or building like a content creation schedule. It's much easier to do it that way than to go from just pure chaos and like, okay, I'm gonna like create a business here. It's like, yeah, good luck. It's like really hard.
Yeah, it's hard to create something when your brain's scattered all over the place. Trying to
Yeah, it
think of
is.
two different, or not two different, like 10 different things at once. Okay, so this is gonna be our final question coming up, and then after this, we'll go on to chat questions if Hank has found any. This one comes from Spawns as well. This is a league-related question. Do you think the item additions slash reworks in Season 11 have negatively or positively impact to the game? Sorry, I read that wrong for a second.
Um, this is a it's weird because of it depends on your perspective. So my perspective is heavily like, it's heavily from like an Alawi point of view, or
Mhm.
even a support lane point of view. Um, and so my experience will probably differ a lot from a jungle Talia main or a mid lane Gallia or Katarina player. But I think for like Alawi, it's been really nice because I have more tools. The items they implemented gave me more tools that let me approach different problems better.
Mm.
Although I think Alawi actually is doing worse now because everyone else got stronger. But at least the items are like your
Yeah.
tools, and it's like if they're meant to allow you to approach different variables differently, I actually think they did an okay job at reworking all the items.
Yeah, I found them. Okay, so I hadn't played like League in a while,
Mhm.
and I started playing it a decent a bit recently, and I like saw the mythic items and stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess that's a pretty cool concept. Like just the what is it, like the class specific items like tank and
Yeah,
bruiser and all that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Uh,
yeah, it's definitely neat. And how was it really shocking for you
oh,
when
it
you
was
had like the
jarring.
new shop
Yeah,
and all
I
that?
opened it the first time. I was like, "What? What is
Right?
this?" Because I was trying to find where to like buy health potions and stuff and the words and all that. Which I think actually, if you leave base without a word, it gives you one automatically. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just had
It
to. I
does.
was like, I had to like search for it for like a good few minutes and look up a video. I
Yeah,
was like, "Well, where is it? This is
very
pain."
disorienting.
Yeah, but no, I enjoy it overall more, and compared to previous seasons at least. I think
Yeah,
it's
good.
an interesting concept. Okay, now, if we do have any chat questions, Hank, oh, I see. I think you DM'd them to me.
All
Yeah.
right,
So,
wait.
oh,
I forgot to put a caveat on this. Okay.
okay. What's up?
All right, Hank needs to go through and check, and if there any of them are from subs from my channel, just ignore them. Okay. Just
Okay. All right, go make
yeah,
sure no of them for subs.
Yep,
And then
there
get
you go.
back to
So
me. Then get
Amber,
back to me when you're done with that.
none of Amber's. Nope.
Yeah, we'll give you a good 10 minutes. I'm kidding. Here, I don't think I'm gonna be able to put these questions up on the screen. I'll just go ahead and switch this over. Actually, I might just try to manually type something and make it look a little jank. So bear with me if it looks different from the other questions. We'll call this one question 1. And while I'm putting it up here, I'll go ahead and ask. So, how would you try and help people understand the risk and reward for streaming, giving up a normal career to pursue an uncertain future?
It should almost be obvious. It should be you um like it should just kind of happen naturally. I think you shouldn't like force it. Um, I would recommend just kind of like casually doing your thing. And let's say you go to school. Let's say you're an undergrad. You're going to school, and you're like, all right, let's try to approach this like, let's try to make my own content like as a hobby.
Mm,
Because it needs to be a hobby that you enjoy anyways. Because if you're gonna do it like for your livelihood, trust me, it really does change the way it feels. It can definitely take the fun out of it. I've
mhm,
I've even run into that before a little bit, like burnout. Um, so just do it again. Make sure everything in your life you're still doing well at work, you're still doing well at school. Take care of your health, your body, your mind. Those things should come first before something like this, because the 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 real the thing is it's so low percentage chance of like something working out,
mhm.
um, that you should you should take care of other things as like almost a risk avoidance thing, because there's so much risk in like jumping into something like this, that you should like hedge your bets and like do well in school and like get a good job and then see where life takes you basically.
Yeah, like I know how you said earlier about like just training as a hobby. Just initially, don't try to go too far into it, because again, it's like
Yeah,
it's a very competitive field nowadays with all the way you said what 7 million just on Twitch for like streaming.
something like that.
Yeah,
It's a ton.
and that was just streamers. That wasn't even like like just spread all across those games. It's tough. And before I ask this next question, I heard you mention something about burnout. Has burnout like affected you at all in your time during streaming?
Yeah. Hmm.
Sorry, I know that's a kind of a general question, but
No, I'm trying to think of like it's happened, but it's hard to
Mhm.
like pinpoint like when it's happened. It just like randomly peeks its head in, and it's annoying. And uh, you just I don't know. I don't know how to. You just kind of keep chugging along. And you find other things that like really interest you that maybe you can implement. Although I tried to do that recently with like support. Like I was like, okay, I want to prove myself, play support like at a high level, and it's just like people just don't want to watch it. I could
Mhm.
like force it, but I don't want to force it that bad. Um,
Yeah.
so that's something I do on my own time now. That's like how I find enjoyment. And then I just work. I just kind of do the same old song and dance, and I still enjoy it.
Mhm.
But
That's good. At least,
yeah,
yeah. Like you said earlier, you have for the foreseeable future, you still plan on doing this. So it's a streaming gig. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next question now. I actually cropped this from Discord, so sorry if it looks kind of jank. Do you think that entering the corporate world will be more difficult when slash if you decide to quit streaming, since there can be negative connotations associated with gaming and won't have the traditional experience on your resume? It's kind of a deep question, but
no, that's a good
yeah.
question. I don't think so, because like from my experiences interviewing with people, is people are just interested in interesting people.
Mm,
So every time this has come up, like I'll put on my resume, and because it's a small business I own,
mhm,
that I make money from, so I'll like bring it up, and people are just so interested. They're like, "What? What do you do?" And it makes you stand out. It's something that shows passion, which people really want to see
mhm,
when you're like interviewing. Uh, so I would say it's an interesting thing. Now, if I like coming straight out of school, if I would have like gotten something in finance, it might help propel that trajectory. but
Mhm.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like it's
Yeah.
such an interesting, unique experience to be able to do full time. That at the end of the day, even if I want to kind of pivot back in, it'll be an interesting topic, and I don't think it'll be a problem at all.
Yeah, it's definitely a good conversation starter too. Just like it was like, yeah, I'm a streamer. It's like, whoa, what's that? And you
Yeah,
just get to talk
exactly.
about yourself for so long. That question actually came from my mom too, so thank you, mom.
Pod.
I didn't see she put it in the chat until just now. Okay. Oh, sorry. I accidentally goofed that for a second. I don't actually have this third question cropped because I may have accidentally deleted it. So I'll just go ahead and ask it and get it up on the screen while you're talking about it. How do you think streamers will be able to stay relevant as they age, or will they be able to pivot their experiences into other careers?
First off, deleting your mother's question, not a good look, Ben.
No,
Here.
no, 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 no. The question we just talked
No, I
about was
was
my
just
mom's
kidding.
question.
Oh, the last one was. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the corporate one.
That was a good question. Um,
Yeah, thank you, mom.
how do you think streamers will stay relevant as they age? I
Because
don't.
I guess from my perspective, like from what I see, like like all these streamers, they have to be like really energetic. Most of the time, especially if they're doing like entertainment streams. So
Yeah,
I guess one aspect of that would be like when you're starting to age, starting to get a little more mellow.
yeah. The thing, I guess, the thing is, like, I'm a pretty like I'm not a like a crate like I'm not like XCC or like lyric or anything. Like I'm very like chill, but that almost like uh that attracts like an older demographic almost who
Mhm,
want other chill people. And you'd actually it comes down to like, would you rather have older viewers who generally have careers and might probably have more money, right? And
mhm.
they're probably going to support you more, or would you rather have like 20 like I don't know 14-year-olds or something who don't have jobs and they most of them won't have money because of like how just percentages work and how many
Yeah.
people are rich. It's not that many.
Mhm,
So one looks better viewership wise, but one looks better at the end of the day. So
mhm.
um, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. You see like it's actually been like in pro gaming, it's been a thing where it's like, oh, like pro players are just gonna age out, but then you have people who have been around forever, and it
Yes.
doesn't seem like they're like Faker. It's like it doesn't seem like he's
Yeah,
going
yeah. Faker's been
anywhere.
on for a long time. And then
Yeah,
elimination. I don't know if he still does pro stuff, but he played for quite a bit. And I think he was in school while he was playing too.
yeah,
And,
and so and then you have like even streamers who, as they get older, it doesn't seem like it really impacts their like viewership any, as long as their content's still good.
mhm.
And most of them will like most streamers or most people as they age, at the very least, they'll probably pivot into something else that's like interesting or um, yeah. Most people figure it out, so I don't think it's something to be too
Yeah,
worried about.
it's kind of a like far in the future thing too, because you got like what you don't even really considered a old person until you're like 50.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
right.
keep it
But
high. I don't want to accidentally lowball
dude,
it.
like I'm like 27 and I feel old. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's a
It's so
long time in the
relative.
future. So, yeah, so
Yeah, yeah, it is.
yeah, I didn't think about it just now. It's like, oh, I'm 21. I just like haven't really thought about that fact because we've been on lockdowns the entire time. But
Yeah, you got a whole decade before you're like 30.
yeah, I still got a long time down here. Okay,
Right? But it doesn't feel that way.
no, it doesn't. So that's all the chat questions we had, I believe. Let me make sure I didn't miss any in the Discord. No, okay, yeah, we only had 3. So hey, I'm gonna do a thing. Last minute questions. If you have just anything, it's like something really small that Michael here can answer in like 30 seconds. If you have
Or even
anything,
like meme questions.
or meme questions,
Ah.
anything really smart and intellectual you want to ask that puts a lot of thought like into it, speak now or forever hold your peace. Hammer says
Oh,
she.
in the future, you could like this is a little brainstorming.
Mhm.
Uh like some some people have like they'll like quick fire, they'll be like, all right, we're gonna do like quick fire round at the very end where it's like what's like favorite movie, favorite uh
Video game.
I don't know, like yeah,
Book.
favorite video game,
Food.
stuff like that.
Yeah, we
It's
can do
like
that if
kind
you
of
want.
memey.
Let me try to see if I can come up with some. I'm gonna come up with 5, and I'm just gonna like speak them. You gotta say whatever comes to your mind first. All right.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Favorite movie?
Uh, Casino Royale, James Bond.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Favorite champ to play against as Malawi?
Nautilus, because he's big, tanky, doesn't move, easy to hit, skill shots on.
That's fair. That's fair. Worst champion to play against as Malawi?
Anivia, because slows and you can't interact with the champ. It's not fun at all.
Yeah. Fair. Favorite food?
Steaks, medium rare, ribeye.
Medium rare. Nice. I was gonna be scared if you said well
Sure.
done.
Ugh, gross. No.
Yeah. That's actually only 4 because I see we have some chat questions now, so I'm gonna go just rapid fire these real quick.
There we
Okay,
go.
so let's see. There's one favorite cheese champ in league.
Cheese champ. I don't even know what a cheese champ
This
would
comes
be.
from my mom too, so answer wisely.
AP Malphite.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. That's
Yeah.
a fun one. King Kong or Godzilla? Who's gonna win?
Hard one. King Kong. I don't know. He's always like been the. I don't know why. I've just always pulled for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I have too. Usually, I don't know. It's just something
Maybe it's
about.
the Donkey Kong appeal or something.
I don't know. I feel like he's very memeable too, because he's just like a giant monkey, and then Godzilla just like breathes fire and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 2 more. So do you play Pokemon by any chance before I ask this one? Because
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't want to put you on the spot and be like, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" You're like, "I don't know." What's your favorite
It's
Pokemon?
Sandshrew.
Sandshrew. Nice.
Yes. He's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, and last one. What runes do you want to run primarily on Alawi?
Never asking, never telling. Don't. I see that one. It's a
Secrets.
meme
Secrets. Yeah,
question.
hey, that one came from Amber too. So.
Of course it did. Oh wait. Ask the one from Mabry. I have to throw that one in because that's my wife.
Oh crap. Oh, I see. What's the best part about streaming full time?
Getting to spend it with be at home all the time, and I can spend all the time in the world with my family. And
That's sweet.
there you go. It is really convenient.
Yeah. Oh, I just meant sweet as in like romantic cuddly, but it's also a sweet thing. Okay. Well, that's all the questions we had for everyone here. I'm gonna close chat now so I don't get tempted to ask anymore. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Michael, if you have any closing remarks you want to give, like any promotions or anything you're doing coming up.
There's a thing down below, the Twitch and the Twitter. Check me out there. Pretty much DirtyMobs everywhere. Thanks a lot for having me. I love the Auburn Esports. So to hang out with y'all. Y'all are great. Y'all are doing great work. So I
Yeah, thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Hank, as well.
Oh yeah, thank you, Hank. Very cool. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for us here. Again, thank you, HyperX, for sponsoring this stream, and yeah, thank everyone for coming out. It was fun. How long do we go for? 47 minutes. It's pretty good time, I'd say. And yeah, thanks everyone. We will. I don't think we have any more Tiger Talks planned. Like in the future, we usually get them as we go, but if we do, we'll definitely tweet it out and stream it down below in the webcam. Links down here. There's the stream. There's the Twitter. And yeah, thanks everyone coming out. Be sure to check us out on Discord and all this stuff and get you involved. Goodbye, everyone.
Tiptoe through the jewelry store, Christian Dior, me and dragging to the floor. I don't really care about money anymore. Pay me in jewels while I'm pulling up a gold. Tiptoe through the jewelry store, Christian Dior, me and dragging to the floor. I don't really care about money anymore. Pay me in jewels while I'm pulling up a gold.